Students, today we will start our next topic, that is British India. So the British came to the India. We are reading the family code topic, है ना? तो in the family code, this topic that British India, at the time of British India, family code is there or not, है ना? In history में पढ़ लिया, Hindus in the medieval period we have read it. In the British India, when we come in, when the Britishers are there, then the British came to India in 17th century. In the essential years, they were not concerned with the various religious or local laws practiced in the subcontinent. They were not little bit be conscious. वो नहीं, उनको बिल्कुल भी किया नहीं थी कि what the religions were going on in the society. In 1772, when the East India Company established themselves as a civil administrator, Warren Hastings, the first Governor General of Bengal, okay, take this. Warren Hastings, the first Governor General of Bengal, when the East India Company in 1772 introduced uniform criminal law. Who introduced the uniform criminal law? Warren Hastings. With the idea of equality before law for both Hindus and Muslims. With the idea that equality must be there for Hindu and the Muslim. However, in matter of personal law, he established the law of the Holy Quran would be applicable to Muslim. Muslim means Muslim will follow their Holy Quran and Hindus will follow their Shastras. As the British has no knowledge about the personal law, they appointed Hindu Pandits. As Britishers will know but did not have any knowledge about Hindus law, है ना, हिंदू के लॉ के बारे में नहीं जानते थे. So they take the advice from the Hindus Pandit, and for the Muslim they consult to their courts. This led to the administrator and development of Anglo-Hindu and Anglo-Islamic personal law. So they developed the administration of Anglo-Hindu and the Anglo-Islamic personal law. After 1864, the system of court of Pandits and the Muslim jurists was abolished. After 1864, this system was abolished. खत्म हो गया this system due to the dissimilar interpretation, and some due to the dissimilar means similarity is not there in the Hindu and Muslim law. So by which this law system was abolished. Suspicious of corruption, because there were corruption, lots of corruption is there, so this system was abolished. The court judges interpreted the personal law themselves for the Bengal region, and they largely used the Dayabhaga Digest, while the Miktishra Digest with its 4 subcategories was used to other parts of India. Means in the Bengal region they will follow up the Dayabhaga's Digest, and while the Miktishra Digest, which we have read it in 3rd unit, along with the other customs and uses, they started believing in the custom of the places. Before that they will not follow the custom or religion. For the Anglo-Islamic personal law, the British judges used the Sectarian Sunni and Shia means for the Muslim law they will use the Saat or Shia or Sunni groups. 2 groups are there for the Muslim, so they will follow up that, as well as other sectarian and tradition along with some local customs and uses. They start following the local custom and the uses which the other persons will follow. So they start doing practicing the custom also. During the British rule, both the Anglo-Hindu personal and the Anglo-Islamic personal law continue to develop through the reforms of commission, mainly through the case law. Means now the British will follow for to decide the cases of the personal law. They will start following the previous decided cases, है ना, जो previous decided cases थे, they will start the case decision accordingly, है ना, through that reference cases, by their reference cases, they will start doing that. So this was at the time of British India. Now in the post-independence, at the time of post-independence, after India's independence in 1947, okay, at the medieval period we've seen that what law system was followed for the personal law. Then Britishers will there, so then Britishers time period में क्या law system अपनाते थे. Now in the post-independence means in the modern period, in 1947, efforts were made to develop a uniform civil code for dealing both the matter for personal law. Mean Article 44 of the Constitution says uniform civil code. So they will start uniform civil code in for dealing the personal law. It started with the Uniform Code Bill, which attempt to combine the very religious custom and uses. In 1951, it was shelved due to much opposition. But in 1951, most of the parties were opposed to this system. They will not want to follow that system. So since the Indian Constitution has adopted the word secular as an important feature of Indian Republic, and the uniform family law has been seen the biased in favor of the Hindu majority committee and unsecular. So in 1951, most of the Indian Constitution will follow the secular law system, and they've made a Hindu family law. In similar manner, in 1956 and 55, the Parliament adopted the codified 4 different major legislation governing family law, like they made it the Hindu Marriage Act 1955, Hindu Succession Act 1956, Hindu Minorities and Guardianship Act 1956, Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act 1956. Similarly, Christian Passage 6 has their own codified marriage law. Means after the 1955, they have made various acts in the constitution. In the law system, Parliament has passed many acts like this. For the Muslim, they will follow their own tradition. As mentioned earlier, the constitution provides a goal and aspiration for achieve. Uniform never been taken up seriously for the fear of widespread criminal वायलेंस. सो वाइडस्प्रेड क्रिमिनल वायलेंस जो हो रहा था आपका, तो उसको अकॉर्डिंगली उसको देखते हुए कि आपके जो क्रिमिनल फाइटिंग होने स्टार्ट हो गई थी कम्युनिटी वाइज, सो to stop that fighting, they will start making this act, and Hindu will follow their law system, Muslim will follow their law system. So both the communities will follow their own law system. Nextly, human rights and gender perspectives. So there are various provisions in the constitution that are specified for general equality. Means what are the various perspective, or what are the various way in which the constitution shows general equality between the personal laws. So the preamble to the constitution revolves secular justice, liberty, equality and dignity of all. Furthermore, Article 14 provides treatment before law. Means what are the various topic is given in the constitution, where it was given that justice, liberty, equality, dignity of all. This shows equality before law for all the citizens. Article 14 says equal protection for all before law. Every person will be equal before law. Article 15 says religious, irrespective of religious, race, caste, sex, all are equal. Thus the idea of equality faced in our constitution already is there, However, exception exists too also. For example, Article 25 and 26 of the Constitution provide freedom of religions that include freedom of science and free profession. Means that include the freedom of free conscience and free profession, practice, propagation of religion, as well as freedom to manage religious affairs. So the religious communities have used these provisions to argue that modifying their family law would be interfering with their freedom of religions. Article 25 or 26 says that everybody have right to follow their own religions. No one can force them to use their religion, to obey their religion. So everyone has free to follow their religions. This shows that family code may be divided into two, Hindu and the Muslim. Clear?